Hello, friends, and welcome to another absorbing video of Wisdom Zone. And this is Shubro, and I'm quite sure you have already guessed it. Today, I have the second part where I'm going to discuss how you can develop your spoken English and how you can become more fluent and confident. And today, I'm going to emphasize on practicing how you can practice using latest techniques and enhance your overall communication and diction. So if you haven't subscribed to Wisdom Zone, do not wait. Please subscribe to Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icon and continue following this particular series and other videos so that you can develop your overall communication. So without further ado, let's get started. So let me inform all the new viewers that I have already started this particular series. Okay, and I already shared a video last week on the same topic, and that's the first part. You will find that in the description box, that is develop your spoken English part 1. Okay, and become fluent in English. So the link of the first part is given in the description box, so please check that also. Please do not forget and check that video also. So before you just start watching this, you can watch that part first and then continue watching this video, right? So without further ado, let's get started. So as you see on your screen, develop your spoken English part 2, and I'm going to show you how you can become more fluent and confident in spoken English. And today I'm going to emphasize on practicing, right? As I already mentioned, which is quite imperative, right? I'm going to show you how you can practice, what kind of techniques you can use, okay, and what are the other methods you can apply to enhance your communication in spoken English, right? So let's get started. So the first important thing which I'm going to discuss is how to practice effectively. Okay, so as you see on your screen, how to practice effectively, you must be having this question in your mind that yes, you know how to speak, you have understood how to speak on simple topics, okay, from the last video, but you want to know how to practice and how to make it more effective, right? So let me tell you, today I'm going to give you a demonstration and I'll show you how you can practice using the right way, and also how we can practice using the right topics, right? So I'm going to give you a brief demonstration also, so do not skip this video at all and continue watching this video. So at first, let me tell you, when you want to practice, the first thing which you have to do, which I already mentioned also in the previous week's video, that you have to select simple topics, okay? Try to speak on simple topics. As you see on your screen, I have already given some simple topics on your screen, like daily routine, your family, self-introduction, your city, your school, college, or best friend, right? So pick one of them, okay, and start speaking, okay, in a simple way, right? So today I'm going to show you how you can do that, because it's very important to show you, then only you'll be able to understand. And let me tell you one more thing, that in this particular video, I'm going to help you and I'm going to guide you step by step to become more fluent and confident. But having said that, I would never say that you would become fluent in 7 days or you would become fluent in 1 month. Okay, that is totally not feasible. Okay, and I would not make that kind of fake promises. But instead of that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give you the right direction. I'm going to show you the right direction which you can take and develop your communication. So please follow this step by step. So let's go ahead and let me show you how we can use simple topics and practice effectively, right? So the simple topic which I'm going to pick is daily routine, out of the topics which are given on your screen. So let's pick this topic, daily routine, right? So let me show you how you can use this topic and practice your communication in your daily life, right? So as you see on your screen, the topic is daily routine. So at first, use the simple present tense. Okay, first of all, ensure use the simple present and practice on this, right? So let me give you some examples. I'm going to type you some sentences here, 3 4 sentences, which definitely is going to help you to understand how you can use the simple present tense to practice. Okay, so let me show you how you can use simple present tense. Your topic is daily routine. So as you see, you can start like this way. I wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning. After that, I freshen up. So see, just you use present tense. I'm just using simple present tense because you're talking about your daily activities which you do regularly, right? So let's see the next line. Then you can mention I have breakfast at 8 a.m. Again using simple present tense. And third line you can say I leave for office, okay, or I leave for work at this time. Here it's mentioned at 8:30 a.m. and I reach office at 9 a.m. So I have given 3 4 sentences here to make you understand how you can practice using simple topics and using the simple present tense, right? So let me again read it out. You start like this way. I wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning. After that, I freshen up. Freshen up is a phrasal verb, okay, which is quite useful. So instead of saying I go to wash my face or hands or arrange my hair. So you can use simply this phrasal verb freshen up. Okay, that is going to convey that you want to just wash your face and hands. Okay, you don't have to unnecessarily elaborate, okay, unnecessarily complicate the sentence. You can simply use this phrasal verb freshen up. So I hope you remember freshen up is to become fresh, wash your face, hands, and do your hair, right? So up next, the second sentence, you talk about your breakfast. I have breakfast at this time using simple present tense. Then the third line, you can talk about what do you do after that. I leave for office at 8:30 a.m. and I reach office at 9 a.m. Okay, so just to make you understand how you can use simple present tense and practice, okay, using a simple topic like daily routine. So use the simple present tense and practice, okay, and you can elaborate after that. After that you can mention what do you do after you reach office. Okay, I start my daily work. Okay, I check my attendance. Okay, so like this way you can mention I check the assigned tasks and continue. Okay, and mention what do you do in the afternoon. I take lunch break at 12:30. So like this way continue elaborating about your routine, daily routine, what do you do regularly from morning till night using simple present tense, which is going to immensely benefit you to speak fluently and confidently. So you just have to use the simple present tense here. Okay, so up next, you must be wondering what next, what else you can do to practice effectively. Now the second thing you have to do is that you have to try and use the simple past tense, okay, and talk about what did you do yesterday. So as you see on your screen, what did you do yesterday? So just change the tense so that you can understand how you can use past tense. Use the simple past tense only, okay? So let me show you how you can start. As you see on your screen, you just have to change your daily routine into past, maybe what you did yesterday, right, using the simple past tense. So let's see how you can go ahead. As you see on your screen, you start like this way. I woke up around 7 a.m. yesterday morning. So yesterday morning woke up around 7 a.m. It's past. So next line, I had breakfast at 8:15 a.m. Okay, that means you had your breakfast at that time. Then second line, you talk about the time you left for office. So change the tense, use the simple past, leave, make it left. I left for the office around 8:35 a.m. and I reached my office at 9:30 a.m. Just using the simple past tense, describe what you did yesterday, right? And you can continue like this way, so on and on, right? You can mention after I reached office, I started my daily office work. Okay, and at 12:30 p.m. I took my lunch break. So like this way you can continue. I completed my lunch at 1 p.m. So like this way continue and elaborate about what you did yesterday using simple past tense. This is another wonderful way to practice, okay? And practice the use of simple past tense, right? So let me again quickly just recap. First, start with simple present tense, talk about your daily routine, okay? And after you have done, after you have elaborated, you continue till night, okay? Then use the simple past tense and talk about what did you do yesterday. Talk about yesterday's routine. Okay, here you have to use simple past tense. Just use the simple past. Like I woke up around 7 a.m. yesterday morning. Then I had breakfast at this time. Then I left office around this time. I reached office and I started working and I took a break. Okay, and in the evening I watched a movie. So like this way, use simple past tense and also practice. So these are the two important steps you have to do at first to speak fluently and confidently so that you can understand how to speak using the simple present tense as well as using the simple past tense, right? So up next, I'm also going to show you what else you should do to practice. So next you have to also ensure you practice using third person singular number, which can be a bit confusing sometimes when you're learning initially spoken English. And it's from my experience as a trainer, let me tell you, so many students they get confused with third person singular number. So I want to emphasize on this fact first. So let me tell you, do you also talk about daily routine of another person, okay? Maybe your family member, your father, your mother, your brother, anyone, right? So let me show you how to do it. Okay, it's simple. Just you talk about someone else apart from you, right? So that is third person singular number, okay? Because the subject and verb agreement would change in there, okay? So say for example you are describing the daily routine of your brother, right? So instead of I, you are going to use your brother, okay? So you start like this way. My brother wakes up at 6 a.m. in the morning. After that, he freshens up, right? So I'm just changing the verb because it's third person singular number, right? And he takes breakfast or, okay, at 9 a.m. Okay, and after that he leaves for his college or office at 9:30 a.m. and he reaches his college around 10 a.m. So like this way, talk about a separate person, a third person, maybe your father, your mother, your brother, because it's going to help you to understand the subject verb agreement, because we are changing the verb here. Okay, because when you're talking about you say I wake up, but my brother, he or she wakes up. Okay, I go to office, he or she goes to office. So like this way you can practice, which is going to immensely benefit you to overcome that hesitation and confusion of subject verb agreement. Okay, how to use the plural form in case of third person singular number. Okay, so practice like this way. Describe the daily routine of your father, your mother, or brother, any other person in your family. Okay, continue up to night. Okay, then again you can just talk about what that person did yesterday. You can use past tense also and mention that what did your brother do yesterday or what did your father do yesterday using past tense, which would be relatively easier. Okay, so the important thing is to describe the daily routine of any other person in your family, your father, mother, or brother, at first using the simple present tense. Okay, so I hope it's clear. So please try that and follow the way I mentioned, and I'm quite sure it's going to help you to overcome that hesitation, and you'll be able to speak confidently and able to overcome the grammatical issues, right? Because third person singular number can be slightly confusing for you initially. That's why I try to talk about third person, okay, in present tense using the simple present tense, right? So up next, we are also going to see what are the other techniques, okay, we can use to rehearse your spoken English. As you see, other techniques to rehearse spoken English, right? So I'm going to tell you some other unique techniques we should use to rehearse your spoken English. So as you see, the first thing which you can do, you can pick up topics like this way. The first one is like is on your screen. Mention three things you do on weekends. Okay. So talk about three things which you do on weekends, right? That is Saturday and Sundays, weekends, right? So you can mention on weekends, I hang out with my friends. Okay, again use simple present tense. Understood. And on weekends, I usually get up late. Okay, that's the second thing. Third thing, you can say that on weekends I sometimes go for movies. Okay, so like this way you can talk about three things. Okay, you can talk about 4 or 5 things also which you do, especially on weekends. Okay, that's another way to practice. Okay, focus on the sentence construction and use the simple present tense, right? Then you can talk about, as you see on your screen, you can mention three things you don't like to do on weekdays. Okay, understood. So that's the way also you can say. Uh, Mention three things you don't like to do, that is on perhaps weekdays, which you do not like. So you can mention, I don't like to wake up or get up early in the morning on weekdays. That's the first thing. You can mention the second thing which I do not like to do on weekdays is that I don't like to, yes, have my breakfast at 7. Okay. So then we can mention another third thing. Third thing which I don't like to do on weekdays is that I don't like to go to office. Okay. So like this way, you can talk about things which you do not like to do on weekdays. Three things, 4 things, 5 things, like this way. You can elaborate also. Okay, that's going to help you. Okay, first talk about things which you do on weekends. Okay, or and then you talk about mention 3 things you don't like to do on weekdays. Okay, so because this is going to help you to obviously understand how to use negative sentences, because in the first segment we are using positive and affirmative sentences, that where you're mentioning 3 things you do on weekdays, you're using affirmative sentences, and in the second part you're using negative sentences because you're talking about 3 things that you don't like to do on weekdays. Okay, so like this way you can also practice and use affirmative as well as negative sentences, right? So up next I'm going to also explain what are the other activities you can do. Okay, we can also take up some other activities like I already mentioned in the last video. Okay, you can start reading or watching movies or picture description. Okay, so picture description is quite interesting. You can take a photo. Okay, you can take a photo of anything. Okay, and then start describing that picture. Okay, using some simple present tense, and then you can use continuous. Okay, so you can use that photo, you can talk about anything, you can take any photo and start describing it. Okay, so I can give you an example. Okay, suppose you see, yes, your mobile in front of you, so you can describe your mobile, you can take the photo of your mobile and describe it. Okay, or suppose you see a particular box. Okay, that you can also describe. Okay, suppose you see a bottle, as you see on your screen there is a bottle, so you can describe that I can see there is a bottle, it is totally empty, the color of the bottle is white and it is transparent. Okay, and the cap is blue. So like this way we can describe a picture which you see. You can choose any picture, it's going to be really helpful for you to enhance your fluency and enhance your communication, right? So as I already mentioned, use simple present tense also to describe any picture, and you can use continuous also when you're talking about uh, any picture where you see something is going on, right? So like this way you can use present continuous also, which I'm going to discuss later on, right? So first of all, try to use simple present tense more and more, okay? And try to practice. You can describe anything. You can talk about your computer, right? You can talk about your mobile phone. Okay, you can also select some other pictures. Okay, you can take other photos from your room and describe them. Okay, you can also describe your room. Okay, so you can say that I live in a small room. Okay, and yes, color of the walls uh, is like this. You can mention the color. Okay, and it is quite spacious. Okay, and I really like my room. It's quite cozy. So like this we can describe your room. Take some basic photographs. Okay, take some basic topics and describe. Okay, you can take images and photos and start the picture description, which is going to help you, because if you see a picture it's going to help you to get more points, right? And elaborate. Okay, so this is the way you should go ahead and rehearse, and I'm quite sure you're going to try them out. And let me again quickly tell you what to do. First, focus on simple present tense. Use the simple present tense. Okay, is describe your daily routine or other simple topics like your family. You can talk about your city, your school, your best friend. Okay, uh, suppose you're talking about your daily routine, you can describe your daily routine. What do you do from morning till night, which I have shown, right, using the simple present tense. Then use past tense and describe the same topic, like what did you do yesterday, so use past tense. Then you can talk about someone else, a third person. Okay, to practice how to speak on third person singular number. Okay, your father, your mother, and your brother, right? And also after that you can also take up other activities already mentioned, and also you can use other techniques before that already, which I mentioned. You can uh, as you see on your screen, you can take up all this, mention three things you do on weekdays, and talk about three things which you do on weekdays, right? And then you can talk about three things which you don't like to do on weekdays. So like this way you can describe three things which you do not like, so that's going to help you to practice making negative sentences, right? So I am quite sure you are going to be immensely beneficial, and these tricks are immensely helpful, and these are tested process, and I have helped so many students using this particular methods. And please do use them, and try to comment also below, and try to talk about your daily routine. You can comment, make sentences. Okay, and before I end, let me again remind you, I'm again going to come up with the next part in a few days time. So please keep on following this particular series. Okay, that is going to immensely help you, because in this series I'm going to help you to develop your spoken English. Okay, so and if you haven't subscribed to Wisdom Zone, do not forget to subscribe to Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icon, and continue following all the videos, and continue watching all the videos, and stay tuned for further informative videos too.